Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. How is everyone doing? Today I wanted to take a quick look and kind of a review, maybe a deeper dive into two new live releases that I have recently picked up, and I can't, spoiler alert, I can't recommend either of these higher than the higher than the higher. They're both fantastic releases, and I want to dig into them right now. I was really happy to hear that Neil Young is going to be doing a new bootleg series a la Bob Dylan. And he has recently released Carnegie Hall 1970. It's taken from a concert at Carnegie Hall that was recorded on December 4th of 1970. So we need to kind of think back in time to 1970. You know, he had the incredible Ohio song that came out after the events at Kent State University. And that actually happened, I looked it up, May 4th, 1970. So when he recorded this concert, by the way, I looked up the gentleman who did the recording at Carnegie Hall, and he is to be commended. Apparently, he's kind of a mover and shaker, or was a mover and shaker with Joni Mitchell, the Byrds, Neil, of course, CSNY also. He's done a ton of recording work, and his name was escaping me. His name is Henry Louis. And just in passing, I was doing some research on him, and there's actually kind of a cool documentary that was released in 2017. I'm going to go and try and find that on one of the streaming services. So something to think about. But first of all, let's just take a quick look at this package. So this is a 2 LP set. This includes songs from Buffalo Springfield. Everyone knows This Is Nowhere. Of course, After the Gold Rush had only been out for a few months when he did this concert at Carnegie Hall. This is like a time capsule in time, and the recording quality is just amazing. It's amazing that we can have this document right now, 51 years later, and put it on your turntable and just be blown away. This was cut, mastered by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Mastering Studios. Bellman does a great job across the board. Anything that I have listened that's been mastered by Chris Bellman has been top notch. This thing jumps out of the speakers. It is a very, very evenly recorded. It's just an intimate listen. It's incredible. You can almost hear Neil working what I believe is a D28, the strings, and he also, will switch off and play piano. He'll play harmonica here and there. But four sides of incredible music of the period, including kind of interesting. Last track on side one is Wonderin'. And Wonderin' was, it would remain unreleased all the way up until Neil and the Shocking Pinks album. And he reworked that song with a little more instrumentation. But here he's got it stripped back like all the other songs are, and it just sounds fantastic. But it's really cool. He's doing an unreleased song. I don't know what else I could say about this. I was just blown away when I put this on my turntable. There are some shots of Carnegie Hall. A little bit of humor involved here with Neil. If you can read that, A good record is a flat record. And I love this kind of archival look to the actual outer sleeve. I'm kind of hoping they'll kind of continue this kind of motif with the other bootleg issues as they come along, and there's supposed to be more coming in 2022, which is right around the corner. But with all the pressing plant delays and the delays on getting artwork printed and folded and collated, I'm hoping that we will see more of these coming in the next several months as we move into next year. Side one begins with Down by the River, followed up by Cinnamon Girl, I Am a Child, Expecting to Fly, The Loner, and like I mentioned before, Wonderin'. That is just kind of an idea of the quality of songs on this set. And, more about the sound. I mean, the sound stage is very, very big, very, very even. Nothing is, too pitchy or too out of line. It just all sounds fantastic. And I would imagine it's going to sound fantastic on most stereo systems out there today. Neil's voice is in top form. He was at the height of his powers in the late 1970 when this was recorded. There are just a couple things more I'm going to mention, which I found very interesting. So first of all, the audience was very, very, let's say, boisterous, and you could tell that they were kind of excited to be there. They were very much, we're not looking at this with a camera, but just listening. They were quiet where a crowd should be quiet, and at the end of the songs, they would burst into applause. More so on other songs than all of the songs, but you don't hear any cameras going off. You don't hear any mumbling and conversations happening amongst the crowd. I would imagine that this crowd was just in rapt attention, the chance to see an artist at the top of his game at Carnegie Hall in New York. This is just a fantastic document. I cannot recommend getting this higher. I don't particularly have the Massey Hall release, and some have compared this to it. The set list is a little bit similar, but man, I am just super blown away by this. Cowgirl in the Sand is the first song on side 4, and he actually took a request from the crowd and just kind of played a stunning rendition of Cowgirl in the Sand. That just kind of tells you a little bit about Neil and such a quality performer that he is. And if you've ever seen Neil Young solo, you know that you're in for an event. I saw him in 2011, and there was a pump organ, several different acoustic guitars, a couple electric guitars, and it's just an incredible show. And if you haven't listened to Neil in a while, put this on, and it will make you start to think about, geez, I need to kind of plug this hole, I need to plug that hole, I'm missing that album. That is the power of fantastic music. This is an emotional, intimate performance, and I am very, very happy to have this in the collection. Another live release, and this one was actually a little bit of a surprise when I saw this being announced. I was a little surprised that we were getting this. And this is Northeast Corridor, Steely Dan, recorded in 2019, I believe, on their kind of tour along the East Coast. parts of this release were recorded in Philadelphia. They were recorded at the Beacon Theater in New York, a famous haunt in latter period Steely Dan. I've seen Steely Dan. I've seen 3 shows at the Beacon Theater. The Orpheum, Mohegan Sun, the Met in Philadelphia as well. And we get 4 sides of what is basically a greatest hit set. And a few things about this release stand out to me. First of all, we're able to hear, finally on record, this incredible Steely Dan band that Fagen and Becker assembled. Also, very noteworthy, this is the first release that did not involve Walter Becker, R.I.P., and it does say in memory of Walter Becker on the inner sleeves and on the back cover as well. That's a shot of the artwork, kind of like a Northeast Corridor Amtrak, I imagine, going on the tracks. There's the blurb with Walter Becker. And what strikes me about this, again, the band is fantastic. Keith Carlock is an absolute monster on drums. He's been playing with these guys going on 20 years, I think. And then there's a couple other interesting players I'll mention. John Harrington, he's been with Steely Dan, I think, since '99. He was actually on Two Against Nature, and he's been involved in all the tours since. And then finally, the third player I wanted to mention is Connor Kennedy on co-lead guitar. Connor Kennedy is a young guitarist out of Woodstock, New York. Fagen, the story has it, is that Fagen caught him playing in upstate New York. Donald Fagen has a home in Woodstock. And Connor Kennedy was playing at the... they have these barn concerts at Levon Helm's old barn up in Woodstock, and I think he was backing up Amy Helm, Levon Helm's daughter. And Fagen was so impressed with him and some of the other players that he used them on a solo live tour that he did in 2017, Donald Fagen and the Night Flyers. And this was when Becker was seriously ill, and they had to kind of basically shut down Steely Dan for that time period, that spring and summer of 17. So Fagen kind of picked up the pieces and put together this band, and I heard those shows were incredible. Fagen sounds very, very good here, and this is apparently a soundboard recording, pristine, mastered by Bernie Grundman. Again, 180 gram records. They're flat. They sound great. Soundstage is amazing. The only nitpicky thing I will say about this is if you look at that outer sleeve, I mean, this is... First of all, it would have been nice to have a gatefold, but man, the thickness of the outer sleeve leaves a lot to be desired. I was taking the shrink wrap off of this thing, and it nearly bent the cover because I wasn't being super careful getting the shrink wrap off. So it really makes you appreciate, those Tone Poet Stoughton covers. Also, Intervention Records are using Stoughton as well. So those heavy-duty covers are really nice for the collection and preserving the collection. So that's the only nitpicky thing I have to say about this. Now, I lied. The other thing I wanted to mention is this artwork leaves a lot to be desired, especially if you think about Steely Dan, all of the fantastic artwork that they've had through the years. I wish someone would have had a little more imagination. I mean, even this photo is kind of grainy. It's not a high-quality photo. If anything, I would have went for the back cover as maybe the front cover artwork. So I was a little disappointed in that. If we look at the inner sleeves, high quality. I mean, that's even kind of nice with Beacon Theater. Maybe they should have used that. I don't know. I'm just kind of riffing. There is some good photography in here, but I do not like that choice that they used for the front cover. So there you have it, Neil Young, Carnegie Hall, 1970, the first release in the new bootleg series. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And then Northeast Corridor, Steely Dan Live, a double album set, basically a greatest hits set. All of the arrangements sound fantastic. They're pretty much true to the original studio takes. They do stretch out a little bit here and there, which is kind of keeps things fresh. I particularly liked things I missed the most. That is first song on side 3. Of course, it's from the last official studio album, Everything Must Go, and that is just it's fantastic. And the instrumentation, the phrasing by Vagan, that really does belong in the Steely Dan canon. Okay, a lot of people dissed that last album when it was released and said it doesn't quite hold up to the Steely Dan reputation. I totally disagree. I think it's gaining in stature the more you listen to it. It's fantastic that we have that album out now thanks to Record Store Day. And this is a really nice accompanying piece as well. You know, I had the Alive in America set from 1995, 96. And that was kind of an abbreviated short set of songs. A little bit underwhelming and never released on vinyl as far as I know. So I'm really happy to have this and this. These are two really nice things, two of the best things I've heard in a long time. I've got a lot of exciting developments happening here at the homeroom of the University of Vinyl. Stay tuned because I have a pretty cool new development as far as my rig is concerned, and I'm going to be sharing that soon. I'm just waiting for a couple things to happen in the meantime, but looking forward to filming that video maybe as soon as tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and I will see you soon.